Yo, boys, back with another video. This is the third recording of this video. The first one messed up, second one I didn't like it, so we're doing it again. So, we're going to be talking about Blitz, and it's pretty much the only viable thing you can queue right now, because everything else is capped. Arena's capped right now. That's why it's so hard. If you look at the check PP, radar for rating, you see maybe one or two people above 2400. Everyone else is like 2200. Same thing in solo shuffle. Same thing in threes. Now threes a little bit different because you have people trying to push a early gladiator. So it's around, you have the top of the top players around 26 or 2700. Usually they're most likely going to be 2200 or 2300. So if you're wondering why it's so hard to push right now, that is why, and that obviously makes sense. And then you have Blitz, where the MMR cap for Blitz right now is 3K. So you have 24 or 2500, and in some cases only 2200 versus 3K. And this has been like this for a very long time now. I don't know if they just forgot that they have to actually manually buff the MMR, which means what an MMR cap is, for everyone that doesn't know, for whatever bracket you're trying to play, they put a cap on it. They do this so you're not getting 3,500 in one day. So they capped it. So they usually cap it at like 2,200 first week or second week, and then they'll buff it every week. Well, the problem is it's been the same thing for about 4 or 5 weeks now. We're on week 6 now, and it's still 22/2300. And Blitz is really the only thing that you can play and gain rating and actually be able to have a somewhat enjoyable time. Now, it is completely RNG, and it's also play to win, but I would much rather have it play to win than what current Arena is. And same thing with Solo Shuffle. I think Solo Shuffle and Arena are the perfect example of Blizzard not buffing the MMR at all, just forgetting all about it. I don't know, they haven't said any words about it, they have yet to say anything. I don't know what's going on. Usually it would already be fixed by now. Usually, in this situation, it would already be 3K in everything. And the fact that it's only 3K in Blitz doesn't really make much sense when you think about it. It should be 3K in everything, even 2s. Again, 2s would be a lot more fun if not only they added like a rank 1 title to 2s, but on top of that, they just simply made people, it's very easy, honestly, to me, in my opinion. Just make the MMR bigger. You can maybe add an amount, add in a title. That's how you get people to play twos. Very easy, very simple, and that's pretty much all you would have to do. But obviously, that would require them to actually not sit there and, you know, they have to actually do their job, which is a very rare thing. So that's kind of how that goes, and I'm not really surprised. I don't think anybody's surprised that it's like that, but that is just how it is right now, and that's what it'll be like probably for another couple weeks now. I don't assume that it'll get fixed, but I'm also not too worried about it because I'm not really queuing anything. If you're wondering why my videos are lacking, I'm barely posting much. That is probably why I only do carries, because why would I want to queue twos right now? Even carries to 1600 are difficult. Like, they're not easy games. If you're a good player, it's not hard. But anybody who's buying my carries usually is not very good, or they're not playing an S tier spec. So it comes down to simply just not a fun time at all. It's way harder to do anything right now than it ever has been. That's why Blitz is a lot more fun and a lot more people are playing it, because it's a lot easier to gain rating. If you look at the difference between Season 1 of Dragonflight versus this season, we had people, an average player in Solo Shuffle could get it to 25 to 2600. They could get Legend. Well, guess what? Right now, I guarantee this season, unless it gets buffed drastically, yeah, no average player is getting over 2200, and that's as of now. The average player could probably get to 18 or 1900 right now currently, and I'd say even that would be difficult for them. And you guys want to let me know, anybody that's an average player or you don't play that much, or just simply you're not the best, let me know what your rating down below is, because I guarantee it. Sure, you're going to see a few higher rated players, but otherwise it's just going to be, 18, it's going to be 16 through 2100. I can call it right now. And maybe not even 2100. That's the high end. If you're 2100 in Solo Shuffle right now, you at least have a brain, which means you're not really, I wouldn't even call you a casual or an average player. An average player is not getting 2100 right now currently unless it is in Blitz. And let me just say one thing in this Blitz. If you see one person sitting a base and you see him already at 40%, just help me kill him. Because what we could have just done, we could have killed that warrior in less than 2 seconds. But we wasted time instead because I was like, okay, I have all my burst up. We might as well just kill him in 2 seconds. Instead, he sheeps all my bleeds off, so we have to sit there and then I have to recycle him. He did that twice that game. I tell him to sit, and I'm like, okay, I'll go hit a base. That's what I do. Everyone knows if you've ever did an RBG with me, you know, no matter what I'm playing, I'm usually goated at, and I usually steal bases back to back to back. But um, the only level 80 I have right now on this account is obviously my Pharaoh Druid because I had a free boost and then I just leveled it. So now I have to level everything. And on top of that, my names that got deleted, I have to wait 90 days to get them back on another character that I was going to make. You used to be able to get it instantly. Now they make you have to wait a time period unless you name change it, which I'm not doing. So now I have to come up with all new goated names. I've already gotten a few of them, but still, I had like some OG names that I spent hours and hours upon doing those names. It's very unfortunate. But back to the video here. Pretty much, that is why it's so hard to push right now. So Blitz overall, I think Blitz is a great idea. I think they did it the wrong way. What Blitz is right now should be what's implemented into RBGs. So take Blitz, Solo Blitz out of the game, and then put everything that Blitz has, put it into RBGs. So what ends up happening is you still have to get a group and everything, but at least, or maybe even you can get a group and then queue. I don't know if that would be too like cheating, but obviously I don't think they're gonna do it to where they'll take out once they add something in, they never take it out. So I guarantee RBGs will always be dead. I don't think RBGs will ever be active. So they're dead completely. I think Blitz is the only hope for it. I think if they implemented all the Blitz changes into RBGs, other than obviously the solo queue, because I'd honestly prefer to get a group and actually be able to win than have to go through this RNG, play to win. Even though RBGs is the same thing, it's literally the same thing except the games are a lot slower. But I guarantee if they implemented Blitz into RBGs and just completely took Blitz out, that would be great. But that's how I feel about that so far. And again, Blitz is really easy right now. It's not hard. Now, there is something called placement games, which has been a huge problem. If you look at my record, I'm like 28 and 13 or something. Now, almost every single one of those games, but like 5, were placement games. So as a duo, I don't know how much it is for solo, but for duo queues, we had to queue 30 games, even though we were like 15 and 2, to get out of placements. What placements means is you basically can't go above 1550 MMR, and it tanks you down to 1300 MMR. You might see how that's a problem. If we're 1560 and we're trying to get 1600, and we're playing with 1300 people, well, when we lose, what's going to happen is we lose 20 points. But then when we win, we don't gain anything, or we gain 5 rating. So that's what placements is. And a lot of people have had this issue. Unless you queue with a duo that's higher rated. Let's say you queue with a duo that's out of placements, then you'll automatically be out of placements. So that's kind of how that works. That's what a lot of people do. Like, you see somebody with some godly record, they usually play with a duo that was higher rated, and they automatically skipped the placement games, which is how you get a goated record like that. And that's pretty much the only way. Otherwise, you have to do the placement games. That's the only way you can do it. You don't just play and get out of placements. You have to do the placement games unless you're with a duo, and that duo obviously has to have a rating. Good old-fashioned ice-cold water. See, I hate leaving these texts in the game because I don't know what is being said in it, so I'll have to just pause it and look at it myself to make sure there was nothing sketchy said. Because, all my YouTube, everything, I've had my everything like disabled to where I've had entire videos copyright striked because I said a word. Like I said somebody's name or word or added in non-copyright music into my just a bunch of random stuff that copyrights my videos. Which honestly, again, I don't really do YouTube for money because it doesn't pay at all. Like unless you're up in like the peekaboo category or like you're up there in views. I'm talking about like 300 to 600K a month, which right now I'd say I do 80 to like randomly 150, which is nothing. It's pretty much like if you did the math on that, it would be practically $200 or $300 a month, which is terrible or horrible. So I don't really care if it gets demonetized. I just don't like that it gets a lot of views and then it gets demonetized. Like, just tell me at the very start so I don't have to do all the extra work. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about Blitz. Now, this is a game that we actually lost, but I just put it in here because why not? And there is a thing, we actually DC'd, and we thought it was all over, because once you DC, they implemented something to where when you DC'd or you miscue, it would count as a DC. It would automatically kick you out of the game. But I think they changed it because we DC'd and we were able to wait like a minute and we got back in the game. So, and then we won the game. It was on a Warsong Glutch. I got Glutch, but I think it's Glutch. Whatever. We're just gonna say Warsong Clutch. That's what I'm gonna say because it's clutching up. We clutched up and we own. We actually did win. That was insane because our friends and stuff have DC'd, automatically gotten kicked, lost 250 rating, and you don't want to do that when you're still in placement games. But these aren't placement games. We finally got out of them just last night, or I think yesterday. We finally got out of placement games. Every single game we've lost, almost, has been the most weird thing in life. Like, you would think these games would be easy to win, but they're actually difficult. I have a harder time playing at this MMR than I have playing at high-rated arena or high-rated solo shuffle. Like, it is hard to it's hard to win sometimes. Like, it's RNG. If you have one or two bad people that just sit there and run into the middle and don't do anything to help their team, Blitz is all about, you cannot carry more than two people. If it's one or two and your entire team's good, easy. You can do that easy work. But the moment you have three people that are bad, whoever has the better non-bot players, they're going to absolutely stomp you in every category. And that's what happened. Every loss we've had, it was uncarryable. There was this... It would have been easier carrying somebody to 2100 than getting a win at that rating. It's that difficult. But, you'll see how we lose this game. And you think we would win this game because we're ahead. Everything's looking good. It's not looking terrible. And you'll see what ends up happening. But that's pretty much how I feel about... Now, again, I've only been playing Blitz. Me and my brother play it. I haven't played it with anybody else. I've literally just queued it with Duo because, why not? And it's really the only fun thing that, like, we can just get on, log on, and play. And, again, the placement games were so bad, we had to go through 30 games of... That's a lot of games. 30 games. And we won... We had, like, an 80 or 95% win rate. All the way up to, like, we were 15-2, and then we got up to, like, 20-3. Still were in placement games after all that time, and we weren't even close. We were literally 1300 through 1500 MMR, and we weren't able to gain MMR. So if you're having trouble at the placement games, you have to go through them. Just keep going. That's the only thing you can do. That's really the only thing. Unless you have a friend that's higher rated or at a placement that you can join, there's no getting out of it. You simply just have to play the games. And if you're losing a lot of those placement games, then you're in a bad spot. If you look at people that are 1400 CR hard stuck and they have like 100 games played, it means they did bad in the placement games. If you do bad in the placement games, which means you're not going positive after a while, it's going to be bad. You're not going to be able to gain rating. Placement games, or you need to win as much as you can. Just keep it positive and you're good. You'll eventually get out of the placement games and you'll be good. However, if you lose those placement games and you're going negative a lot, you'll be stuck in the placement games. What that means is you will never get over 1600 plus. You will be stuck permanently at 1500, and you'll have hundreds of games played, and even if somebody played your account, it would be very difficult for you to get out of it. Even if you went 50-0 after you've already got... It's kind of like DCing and solo shovel at the start of a season. That's kind of how it is. So you got to make sure if you're going to play Blitz, Don't AFK out. That's first off. Even if you're mad, even if you know you're gonna lose, even if people are talking trash, don't leave. That's first off. Unless you know you're not gonna play that character for the entire season, then it's whatever. But if you're going to play, don't leave, and then also just play it like a random BG. That's what everyone does. Every single team that I've had, even the ones that are 2k CR, these people are 1400 CR in Arena. Their highest XP is probably 1600. Like, I've looked at people, they have a really good record, and I'll look at them and I'm like, how is this guy having a good record? This guy's literally hard stuck 1400, and then he's 2k with a good record. And I'm like, well, maybe I was wrong about Blitz. Maybe it was easier than I thought. Because I figured it was easy. I didn't think it was this bad. I didn't think it was this RNG. Like, this has nothing to do with skill. This is simply just... I mean, obviously it has somewhat to do with skill once you're higher rated. But you could have 3 or 4 good people on your team and you'll win the game. Almost every single time. If we've had 2 other teammates that have known what their job... Like, so let's say we're playing Warsaw and Gulch, which is what I'm going to call it now. If we had a O team, which 2 on O, and then we had 2 on D, we won every single time pretty much in the first 1 minute, 2 minutes, every time. It was instantly. It was the easiest thing, it felt great, and that was just with 4 of us. Imagine having a team and only missing 1 or 2 of those people that are bad, and then everyone else knows what they're doing. We have yet to have that, or we have had that, but we've won so fast where it was literally 30-second games. So that's how you know if you get a good team or not. If you know if you have a good team if the game's not only close, and it's not close due to you guys being all bad, but it's simply you guys all being good. Those are the good games you want, because at least it's close, and you're like, okay, well, we tried, they just might have had a better comp, blah 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 blah. But that's pretty much how that is. So overall, I think Blitz is honestly not bad. I think it has a lot of flaws, and I think it's way too based off of play to win. But at the same time, I would much rather it be play to win than simply just try hard at 1600 CR like Arena and Solo Shuffle. The most annoying thing I've ever tried to do. And if you're not playing an S tier spec, it's just you're just going to get absolutely destroyed by some 1400 backpedaling player that's able to sit there and chomp your HP down while you're just sitting there and doing setups. And like when I played Rogue Mage and we did the most insane setups just to get this guy 1600. Keep in mind, those games were to get him his 1600. And we had to play like that to win. And we still were struggling. We lost to every Pharaoh Druid. Every spec that was S tier, we couldn't beat them. They would kill us in 30 seconds minimum. My mage would be playing like a rank 1 mage. It felt like I was playing Shadowlands Rogue Mage. And there was too many cooldowns in the game. They have 7 to 8 different cooldowns. How do you expect that, for us to win? So, and that's why I like Kata Arena so much, or I did. I don't like 2's Kata because there's no damp. That automatically ruined any type of 2's that we played, because we had 45-minute Arena games in Cataclysm. But 3's were great. I think 3's and Kata, if they just tuned down the DRs, that would be peak World of Warcraft PvP. Cataclysm with tuned down DRs would be perfect. The best arena you can get ever. Even the best Solo Shovel. Obviously you need MMR, but just arena specifically, I had more fun playing arena in 3's than I ever have in retail, other than in Shadowlands when it actually was kind of like Kato, where if you use your trinket incorrectly, you die. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know I did a little bit of ranting, but I think you guys will enjoy this one. If you guys want to see some higher rated gameplay, let me know. Otherwise, it's been X, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.